popping the kids out of their coats, the way the babies haven't been born. Unpacking the bags and setting up, and planted lilacs and buttercup.
I loved her, and Percy has never treated her right. Percy doesn't love those other girls like he loves Leola, but yet he doesn't treat her like I would. He treats her as a trophy wife. I don't want her, but it annoys me that Percy has her. Percy once told me that it was war fever. I did not deny it, but I didn't like it either.
I don't even have my cane anymore. I recognize you.
I don't remember you. I don't remember anyone from that night, except the woman herself. It was her that turned me to God.
When you raped her?
I didn't rape her, Mr. Ramsey. You heard her say so herself. Not that I wouldn't have done it in the state of mind I was in. I was at the end of my rope. I was a tramp, you see. Any idea what it means to be a tramp? They're lost men. Not many people understand them.
To God? How did she make you turn to God?
He worked through that woman, and she is a blessed saint for what she did for me. I mean it as I say it. It was a miracle.
This is the third miracle.
What do you mean, the third miracle?
First was Paul Dempster's birth. The second was her healing of Willie. And now you.
I'm not surprised. She is a saint.
Yeah, I'm going back to Deptford to talk to Reverend about it.
Good luck.
Here, Mr. Surgeoner.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. This will get us the soup kettle we need and a load of wood as well. Do you see how your prayers are answered?
Hello, Father Reagan. I want somebody to talk to you confidentially about this guilt has stored in me.
Sure, my son. I'm here for you.
Over these past years, I have had strange experiences that involve Mrs. Dempster, and I have proof that she is a saint from all the miracles she has performed. I want to find her again.
A saint, you say? Well, now, that's a pretty tall order. I couldn't help you at all. Finding saints isn't part of my job, nor can I say what a miracle is and what isn't.
But I have met the tramp that raped Mrs. Dempster. She is now reformed, all because of her.
I reformed a tramp or two myself. They get spells of repentance like most people. This fellow you tell me about seems to be as extreme in his renewal as he was in his sin. I never liked that.
Father, you don't understand. Hello, Mr. McCaffrey.
Hello, Tony. What brings you around here?
I was wondering if you could give me a Mrs. Dempster's address.
Yeah, sure. Let me write it down for you. A bad business that was. She seemed like a nice little lady. Then a mad woman. Struck by a snowball. I don't suppose you have any idea who threw it, have you?
No, sir, I wouldn't.
No, I didn't imagine you did, or you would have said so earlier.
Yes, sir, I would have.
There was guilt, you know. Undoubtedly there was guilt. I don't know quite what would have been done about it. But look at the consequences. I remember that you were there, and at the ruin of her husband's life. Then the lad running away when he was no more than a baby. Yes, there was guilt. Whether any kind of charge could have been laid or not, guilt, and somebody bears it to this day. Well, here, my boy, take the address.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye. Hi, I'm Mr. Dunstan Ramsey. I'm looking for Mrs. Dempster. I was told I could find her here.
Yes, right this way.
Thank you.
It's the door to your right.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Ramsey, but that's all the time you have with her.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Dempster, still such an unremarkable woman, really, except for great sweetness of expression. She has no recollection of me to begin with, but when I spoke of Paul, I roused painful associations.
I'm sure you mean kindly, Mr. Ramsey, but you can see for yourself that my niece is not up to receiving any callers. There's not a particular sense in reminding her of the days past. It frets her, and it does no good. So I'll say good afternoon, and thank you for calling.
I haven't seen or spoke to Mrs. Dempster for many years, and I was just very concerned about your niece. I remember when I was young, her great spirit and pure soul. My mother used to care for her a great deal. I owe this to her, and especially since the snowball incident.
That is real kind of you. I know some terrible things went on in Deptford, and it's good to know that not everyone has forgotten poor Mary. All these terrible things have happened to her, from the disappearance of her son to the loss of her husband. I love her so much. She's all the family that I've got. Love can make you do some mean actions when you think it has been snubbed.
That is unfortunate because she was always such a sweet lady.
I love to hear you say that Mary was so good and sweet, even after the terrible accident. It was an accident, wasn't it?
Yes, Mrs. Shacklin, it was.
I'd meant to tell you to never come again, but I won't. Come see Mary, but promise you'll get to know her again as a new friend.
Thank you, Mrs. Shacklin. I definitely will return.
Chico on the team now, man. You fucking with the kid. Pat Breezy. Flying tight, man. We doing it real big over here, man. But check me out, y'all. She's a very freaky girl. The way